One Piece chapter 1120, it is titled Atlas, and the chapter starts off with Vegapunk and Clover having a conversation at Punk Hazard 26 years ago. Clover is trying to recruit Vegapunk to study the Void Century, since the more they study, the more they require an expertise in other fields. If you look closely at the entrance, there's a skull above the Punk Hazard sign, and I wonder if this was an inspiration that Kaido got for Onigashima, since both him and King were used at experiments here. And I also wonder if this is the same skull that we see in chapter 655 that's laying on the ground, since in the same chapter the part where the skull originally was is now missing. As we know, Vegapunk is affiliated with the world government, so he's pushing back against assisting Clover. We then find out the reason why Clover is conducting this research, and this is because both him and his brother were a part of the D Clan, and Professor Clover, his real name was Cloud D. Clover. He's conducting this research because of the guilt he feels for denying his true name and to reconcile for the mistake that he made. I really like this because I think it adds a lot more depth to his character. What makes this interesting is after this reveal, it gives more clarity that not everyone who's searching the Void Century originated because they wanted to know the missing history, and there's other reasons for their catalyst. For example, we know Robin is searching for the truth, but that wasn't her original reason for becoming a scholar. Her reasoning behind it was to be able to get closer to her mother, Nico Olivia. So yeah, I think that this adds more depth not only to his character but other characters in this series, and with this reveal there are now officially 15 individuals that are confirmed to be a part of the D Clan, and after this I wonder what other important figures will be revealed next. After seeing this, I wouldn't be surprised if Momo, Odin, or other members of the Kazuki clan were revealed to have the Will of D, especially because of how much Odin was connected to Joyboy. In this chapter, Vegapunk's reaction to a heart being wiped out is drawn, and seeing him being sad about Clover's death, and he also has a statement where he says, "What lunatic would dare risk certain death to continue your research?" I wonder if Clover's death inspired Vegapunk to still be affiliated with the world government and gave him the willpower to continue his research, because Vegapunk knew that he would be killed and he continued to conduct his research. And at first when this was all happening, I thought it was a little bit dumb. I'm like, well, who the heck would do this knowing that they would be killed? But if he was inspired by Clover, then it would make a lot of sense. Back to the broadcast, Vegapunk claimed that history is told by the winners, which is a true statement because whoever wins can say whatever they want because, well, who's going to stop them? And since the world government won against the ancient kingdom, that's why we have the 100-year void. This line from Vegapunk is exactly what Doflamingo was talking about during Marineford. Whoever wins creates justice, and that's one of my favorite lines in One Piece, so I'm glad that Oda brought it back as a reference because it's just so true. These Zoro Straw Hats, honestly, I don't know what else to call them, but this group, they can't escape because of Nusjuro, and well, there's a lot of science terms that are involved and I don't really feel like saying it, so the abridged version is that they won't have enough lift to make it, so they can't take off. All of a sudden, Atlas pops out of nowhere and knocks Lilith out. The new episode of One Piece just dropped, so who did it better with knocking someone out? Was it Atlas or Shanks? Let me know in the comments below. But all jokes aside, she did this because Atlas knows that Lilith would get upset knowing that she sacrificed herself instead of allowing Lilith to do it as well. Atlas charges at Nusjuro and pushes him away so the Straws can escape, and I really like Zoro and Jinbei in this situation because it showcases and highlights their leadership. They're not trying to question anything, they're taking advantage of the situation, they're taking action and not wasting Atlas's sacrifice. And after this, I wonder if Lilith is going to join the Straws because where else is she going to go? I do plan on making a video about that in the future. But if you guys have enjoyed this video so far, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you guys never miss on a new video. I pump out different content all the time. I love this interaction between Luffy and Emet because Emet is talking to Luffy, calling him Joyboy, and Luffy obviously doesn't know who Emet is talking to, so he's looking around like, well, who the heck are you talking to? The only person that can hear Emet is Luffy, meaning that he is communicating through the voice of all things, similar to what Zunisha did. Emet talks about how he gets to fight for Joyboy again, and we already knew that they were allies, but since Joyboy was the first pirate, this is backing up the theory that Zunisha and Emet were members of Joyboy's crew. As Emet attempts to shoot something at Jupiter, it malfunctions and doesn't shoot, and Emet says that it's a 900-year weapon, so of course it wouldn't work. So this clears up a line that was said in the scans that it makes this statement a little bit better. The way it was worded, it sounded a little bit more like it was because Emet wasn't operational since 900 years, and we know that's not true because Emet climbed up Mary Jawal 200 years ago and he went crazy up there. So maybe it's just that he didn't use this particular weapon on Mary Jawal, and it's been 900 years since he's used it. There is so much freaking chaos that is happening at the end of the chapter. The Sunny is falling out of the sky because Atlas ended up blowing herself up to allow them to have enough lift in order to escape. Saturn, he leaps towards the giant ship and talks about how Bonnie and Kuma can escape, and I wonder what is with these Gorosei and just leaping out in the sea like that, like they just have balls of steel. Emet talks about using something, and he's referencing when Joyboy said use it when the time is right. Honestly, I have no clue what he's going to use here. My initial thoughts is that Emet is going to sacrifice himself and potentially nuke himself, but I do feel like whatever he's going to use, it's something that'll stop the Gorosei to allow the Straw Hats to escape, because well, we know they can't die, so the only thing that he could probably do is probably immobilize them. The chapter ends with Vegapunk. He is gearing to conclude the broadcast, the transmission, and honestly, although I love the information dump and all the information that we've gotten because it's cleared up a lot of different things about the world government, about the Void Century, he's been talking for a long time, and I want us to save some of it for Elbaf. We also see Prisoners Murmur Gold D. Roger. As we know, there's a common misconception about Roger's name, that it's not Gold Roger, but actually Gold D. Roger. With more of this misconception going to be cleared up, I can't wait to see how people will now look at Roger and the Roger Pirates, and if they look at him the same, if they look at him differently because of Roger's name, and once the truth about the world government is 100% revealed. But that's it for this chapter. I thought it was really interesting. This is the first time in a while that we've gotten a 19-page chapter, and it felt like it. A lot of information revealed, a lot of beautiful drawings. Shout out to Oda, we really do appreciate you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you guys felt about this chapter in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.